Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Before we dive in, I want to go over some housekeeping items. If you have to log off early, no worries. We're going to be emailing you the slides as well as the webinar recording. So you will get every resource that we share here today. There will be some resources that both of us will share at the end of the webinar. So you will get links to those as well. And then if you have any questions, we're going to reserve some time at the end to address questions. Obviously, if something pops up during the webinar, we're going to try and answer that as well. But there is a Q&A section, so make sure you put your questions there. I will be checking on those throughout the webinar. And I think that's it. So I want to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Natalie Slyman. I'm the content marketing manager at Benchmark Email. I manage our blog. I run most of our webinars. Anything regarding content and education is really kind of my area of expertise. If you've joined our webinars before, chances are you've heard my voice and seen my face. And we are partnering today with Rampic. I want to let my co-host introduce herself. Ludmila, feel free to let
Hello.
everyone know who you are.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ludmila. I'm the CEO and founder of Rampic Agency. We are the B2B digital marketing and now AI search agency, and we work with tech brands and B2B companies to help you guys get more of your marketing effort. We are big on AI search. We are big on performance marketing as well. And I'm here today to share everything that I know about this new environment and add value towards what you are doing or will be doing to be well seen and presented right in the search results on ChatGPT and other AI platforms.
Yes. So that is huge, especially even at Benchmark, where if you aren't familiar with Benchmark Email, we are an email marketing software company. And, even our efforts align a lot with, AI search. It's kind of like the new thing. AI is really changing everything, as we all know. So today we are going to be chatting about seeing an AI search, winning an email. So we're kind of bringing these two ideas together, how to kind of get your content to rank in AI search. And then once you're able to do that, what do you do with that new traffic that you're receiving? How do you take that traffic and use email marketing to drive real conversions? So, kind of to get a little bit more in the weeds of what we're going to discuss today, uh, we're going to discuss AI, how AI is rewriting the rules of search. So, kind of really dive in deep as to how it's changing the landscape. And then, if you don't show up in ChatGPT the right way, your best prospects won't find you. So, we're going to dive into kind of the right way to show up and why that is the key to having that crucial, that target audience of yours be able to locate you. And then we're going to discuss AI search and email and how bringing these two ideas together and these two practices together is going to translate to more conversions. Okay, so I'm going to let Ludmila kind of take it from here.
Awesome. So before we dive really deep into AI search, I wanted to spend just a few minutes talking about the high level use cases or like what is AI search? What do we see from the digital marketing perspective? And I have been on the agency side for more than 17 years. I've been doing search engine optimization for almost 2 decades. And this new environment is quite different. And currently, what we see in here is the big division between like so-called native AI search and AI search features in the more traditional search environment. So for the native AI search, uh, it's like just for me, it's like to check the temperature. Uh, if Natalie, can people type or react in
Yeah, you know what? We do have the Q&A section. We
mhm.
could do a poll if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So, if you guys like, I'm pretty sure you are using a lot of AI platforms right now. But if we have an option to, like, for you to tell us which one you are using while I'm talking, that would be super helpful. It will help us tie
yeah.
up the content towards that. So. For the native AI search, this is where we have the things that are happening on the AI platforms like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Copilot. So when you're using the chat platform itself, and you have the search function enabled. This is where we have the native AI search use case, where you're typing something in, chat goes to the web, pulls the results, brings it back to you. And when this is happening, you are within this kind of like new chat-based environment. However, if you noticed, and one of the greatest ways to put it was when somebody told me, why Google put ChatGPT results on top of everything else? Yes, if you guys can vote a little bit, which AI platforms are you using on a regular basis? You have a poll. Hey, I see ChatGPT coming in. Good. Copilot, good. Perplexity. Nobody's using Perplexity here. So we have with ChatGPT, it's super interesting. We will be talking about it in a way. So yes, we have Perplexity users. Good. So when you are within this kind of like native AI environment, this is how the new thing starts to happen. You don't use search yourself, but your AI platform does. So we call it the native AI search experience. But if we are looking at the second most popular use case, the AI search features, this is where, and this platform is not on the list, but whenever you're Googling something, you're using the Gemini generated results. And this is the new addition from Google, and on Bing, it's going to be Copilot results that changes your search experience as well. So the point is that AI results are now everywhere, whether you are in the native AI environment using the platforms like ChatGPT and Perplexity, and others, or you are in more traditional search environment, you will face those AI results everywhere. And this is where the two worlds, the native AI search and the AI search features, are starting to merge because now, even in Google, more than 60% of Google searchers will have those AI overviews on top of organic results. So this is how the game has changed. And on the next slide, we will see why exactly this is happening and how the two worlds are different. And thank you guys for all the great responses.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah, so we have the domination of ChatGPT users throughout our participants, but also some of you use Perplexity, some of you use Copilot. So thank you, Natalie, for putting together the
No
poll
problem.
for us so quickly.
Yeah.
So for the this is where the main difference comes in. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the traditional search results, and this is the paradigm that we've been living through over the last 30 years that 20 years that Google has been in the game. Take a spider, go to the web, scrape the web, store the results, take the user keyword, that's very important, the keyword, and bring up the most relevant websites back. This is how largely all the search engines have been working so far. Now, if you look at the part of the screen, this is how LLMs are different. LLMs do not use the keywords. They categorize, they cluster. They calculate the statistical probability or proximity of two words to each other, and this is a completely different tech compared to what we have been used to in traditional search results. And knowing that, how those two technologies are different between each other gives us a lot of inputs on how we can adjust our search engine visibility, how we can adjust our marketing effort to be more visible in uh, search results. So in terms of like clustering and how LLMs are different, um, Google uses keywords and intent and maybe some geographical factors. Well, let's set aside 200 search ranking factors that Google has been inventing over time, but largely that's going to be the keyword and your intent to find something. LLMs, in response to your prompt, and this is the biggest difference, the keyword on Google is usually 5 to 7 words top. The average length of the prompt on any platform, ChatGPT included, is 20 words plus. So even when we are when we are using the chat, we are lengthier in what we would like to explore. We are lengthier in how we express our intent and overall tasks for our LLM partners. So how do they know what to return back? They are big calculators. They calculate the probability of the next word being used after the word that has been just calculated. And it means that they vectorize and all the jargon aside, they think concepts. So just to give you like a real world example, let's say today is Tuesday, and we have a big like party on Friday night. Hopefully, some of you already like have those plans in real life. And let's say we would like to put together like the upbeat playlist for the Friday night party that we have, and we need upbeat. We need something cheerful. We need something loud and something really like party going. If you Google that music, party playlists, probably you'll have something predefined. Google will find websites that already have the party playlists, and they will give you like the list of websites where you can find the predefined party playlists. If you ask the same question to any LLM like ChatGPT or Perplexity, there's going to be a very different way of thinking about what to give you. And okay, Friday night, loud and cheerful music. LLM doesn't know. It's going to be rock or pop. So chances are for the Friday night, loud and cheerful music, you can find AC/DC next to Bach. Very cheerful, loud music, completely different genres, but united with the very important markers like the time of the day, the intent of your search, and what's more important, if you look at the upper picture, the close proximity of Bach being near motivational, loud, cheerful, and AC/DC being somewhere closer to those words. In many reviews, in many experiences, and in many mentions that both of Bach and AC/DC have around the web. And this is very different from just a keyword search and a predefined party playlist. So, what it means to you, what it means to all of us, LLMs use different categorization, different clustering, different algorithms and mechanisms when they analyze the search results for you. And if we go to the next slide, I'll elaborate more on this difference. So this is the biggest shift. And we are all in this together. So it already happened. Meteorite has hit the Earth. So now we are dealing with the consequences. It's just bigger or smaller, it depends how often you use LLMs. But we are already in there, and most of the prospects are. So for the traditional search in Google, we have the ranking pages that drive clicks. In AI search, we have citations and recommendations. And those citations and recommendations mentions in that AI search, this is the new currency. This is the new PR mentions. This is the new backlinks. So all the SEO, search engine optimization community is still in shock. We are recovering and we are trying to figure out how exactly we can help brands like yours and ours to rank better. So let's take a little bit of a one step forward towards the LLMs 101. So how do they work? Now we understand that they rank, and on the next slide we'll see a few other hints that we can use. So they rank by proximity, they rank by predictions. However, the very, very important thing that we all need to know about LLMs, they have two types of memories, two types of brains. They have the memory-based knowledge, and this is the training data that has been used to put the model together, educate it, train it, and now it is released to the world. Think the previous version of ChatGPT had a training cutoff date of mid-2023. And probably now with GPT-5, it's fresher, it has more knowledge and more information. But if you are to ask any LLM about the real-time events, if it doesn't have the search function enabled, if it's a well-trained model, it will tell you, I don't know. By the way, that was a huge task for the LLM data scientists to educate the model to tell you that it doesn't know something. Because typically it will be just like, inventing and hallucinating and giving you all the various false facts and whatnot. But this is the worst case scenario. The best case scenario, the model will tell you, I don't know. The better case scenario, the model will go out there and try to source the new information. This is how the two worlds of native AI search and AI search features start to not collide but merge. So now by the way, ChatGPT 5 will not tell you if it's using the search function or not in most of the cases. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. So now the previous models did show you how exactly they search the web. This one, sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends on the model thinking. And they're becoming smarter as we sleep. But for our understanding how LLMs work, still, search function is a little bit more resource consuming rather than the memory-based function. And when we are retrieving the results from memory, it's what's learned was learned, and you cannot rewrite the memory-based information. What you can do with the LLM's live search is to make sure that your positioning is up to date on the websites that models are more likely to surface, and that for the next generation of the models, you have the relevant information about your positioning, about your offering, your services, your products in the places where LLMs are likely to get it. So the biggest takeaway here is that we have the memory-based information and we have the live augmented information. And let's take a look at the next slide about some learnings that we have from the audits we audited more than 450 websites already and counting. And if we are relying on the memory-based data only, this is the missed citation, that's outdated positioning, that's the wrong competitors cited. So now, since we know that models operate from the two types of memories, two types of data sets, like memory-based and live augmented, it's very important for us to understand how they see us without the search function enabled. This is the cold shower, like the real moment of harsh truth for many. And if we can go to the next slide, I will show you what it thinks about us. This is the overview of Rampic as the models know it. And if you can read the introduction and brand overview, it doesn't even mention that I am specializing in tech brands in B2B. Forget about AI search or any new additions that we have been adding to our positioning over the last more than a year. So most likely that's going to be something that you will see in the audits. And as we have been doing those audits for a while, I'll show you the way how you can retrieve a similar report because we decided to build a tool. I decided to build a tool that will help business owners and marketing professionals like us to get that information right from the get-go. We need to understand. We need to know how they see us before we can take any steps further. But now, provided that I know that I'm misinterpreted, those are the steps, and on the next slide we can see them, that I will need to take to get better. Get better in the live augmented results, get better for the next position in the next generation of the models. So this all comes from experience. We have been supporting tech brands and helping them get better visibility in AI search for more than a year. We have a few very solid case studies, so we were there very early. So everything that I will be telling you from now on, it has been proven, it has been backed up by not just experiments, but the program that we have put together at Rampic to help brands systematically. It's not just like sporadic prompting on ChatGPT, hey, how can you recommend me better? Like, please tell me now. It has been tested for months for multiple brands, and it always starts with the audit, understanding where we are now, and then LLMs are still the machines. And that's good news. Why? Because they follow more or less the same indexation protocols as other search engine bots. They have their specialties, they are a little bit different, but they are sensitive to certain technical barriers, and there are ways to figure out what can be blocking them from indexing your content, and there are ways to fix it on the technical level. And that's also, it's super good news because this is something that most of the website owners and business owners can control. So there is one very big takeaway from this step. There are a lot of ways and there are a lot of things that you can control as the marketing professional, as the founder, as the business owner when it comes to LLMs. They are not a completely black box. Grayish, maybe, but not the black box. They are very sensitive to the on-page elements and everything related to schema org and optimizing your landing pages for FAQs, for titles, for bottom line upfronts, clear headings, clear structure. So think as the best answers that you like from the LLMs. This is how your content needs to be. They are good readers and they love summaries. They love when you did all the work for them because they can spend less time analyzing what's on the page and use it directly from there in the citations and recommendations. So when you look at your content production, when you look at their content effort, think about using the bottom line upfronts, like the clear summaries in your copy. Think about the structure that is LLM friendly. And as we just covered a few minutes ago, unfortunately, you will not be able to rewrite the model's memory. What's learned is there. You cannot change that. But consistently working on your content optimization, you can optimize for the next generation of the models and you can educate the next gen models consistently. But it all starts with audit, and on the next slide, there is a sample for the um, tool that you can use. It's called Virtology.ai, and anyone can run the memory audit for free. So this is the tool that I have built, and we extensively use it for ramping clients and other brands that would like to figure out what ChatGPT really knows about your brand. And you can go to virtology.ai and you can run a report for about your brand for free. It will give you the memory snapshot. And closer to the end of the webinar, I'll give you an opportunity to get a friendly discount for for the live audits. So it can do the memory-based audit and it can also do the live audit. But I encourage you to take the first step, take a look at the Virtology capabilities, understand where you are right now in the memory-based reports. And on the next slide, just to reiterate, this is the roadmap towards better content structure. Probably for the GEO, the generative engine optimization, we will need another webinar. I'm not really happy to do that. But in terms of for the sake of our conversation, a few things apart from the LLM-friendly formats that we've just covered. Think about the first-party data that you can publish. And by the first-party data, I mean research, original insights, POVs, point of views. And this is one of the most common questions that I get around this suggestion. Hey, we're like a small brand, or we don't know any, like we don't have any first party data. How do we take it? How do we take it on board? In my case, for example, that's gonna be the summaries of Virtology audits. In Benchmark's case, that's gonna be the trends and benchmarks from the data points that you have. For any smaller service business or product business, there is always the original point of view that you can express, and you can give your professional opinion on the trends. You can give your professional opinion on pretty much anything. And for LLMs, this is gold. This is how you position yourself as an expert. This is how you're saying, hey, I am the original source of this data. And you need to listen to me because I have all of those expert credentials. And I'm not like a synthetic, somebody's like AI generated something that you might not rank. I am the original source of this data. So take it, index it, cite it. And this is how you educate the next generation models. If we go to the next slide, that's consistent positioning and statement, unified messaging on your own homepage, and I don't want to embarrass anybody, but when was the last time you checked your LinkedIn pay company description page? Or updated your Facebook company overview? Or
Mhm.
X? Or G2 if you use it, or Clutch?
I think
That's another,
that's a
yeah.
great question. I think a lot of companies and a lot of business owners they get so focused on their clients and their customers that they kind of neglect their own initiatives, and that kind of falls within that area a little bit.
Put your own mask first before helping others.
Yeah.
So that's the that's one of the things that are definitely in your control. So LLMs don't go too deep. They surface, and those places of like your own homepage, your own about us page, your own LinkedIn profile, social media that you control and use. All even like taking those steps and updating how you are positioned, making sure that your most recent offering services or products are in there. This is the first best step that you can take to start educating the next generation models in the consistent way about your positioning. And for example, in my case, Rampik, we have now the internal effort going on where we take all the digital footprint that we have as a brand and we analyze it and we go and we update it consistently. Yes, it does take time. But yes, it's in my full control zone where I can actually go ahead and make the changes that will position me better for the next generation of the models. Uh, and I think summing this up, I know that's a lot of information and I've been talking for a good 25 minutes. Natalie, thank you so much for giving me that space.
You're welcome.
And for those of you who have more questions and need help with the AI search, you can interact with me anytime, and we will drop the link to my calendar where you can book some time with me with my team. I encourage you to take this opportunity. That's no obligation. There's nothing you can buy on this webinar on that call. But I would like to help. And if you're stuck with your AI, with understanding of where you're positioned in the AI, how do I make it better? How do I set it? I'm more than happy to take a look at where you are at right now and help you design your Q4 AI visibility roadmap. And another good news, and on the next slide, I think that's going to be a relief for many, to my statement about LLMs not being a black box. You can measure. You can track them, you can track the traffic, you can track the key events, you can track the signups, you can track the leads, and you can actually start building that pipeline impact. But it's only relevant when you have the good lead capturing and you know what to do with those leads when they're coming into your systems. And this is where me and Natalie had a really good conversation when we were thinking about how do we like merge the AI search impact and how do we measure it and what do we do with it once we have it. And this is where Natalie, I'll
Yeah,
giving it back over to you because that's exactly what we need to do next.
right. And as Ludmila said earlier, you can chat with her one on one, and we have a link to her meeting. We will be sharing all of this in follow up. So don't worry, you will get everything you need. But yes, we want to translate all of this, new traffic. And it's just, that's just the first half of the puzzle. The second half of the puzzle is, what do we do with it? And that's where email comes in. I do want to chat real quickly though about some wonderful. Well, you know what? Let me just kind of get into this, and then I'll kind of um, chat with. I'll pull on some ideas that Ludmila shared. But basically this question now is arising: what do you do with all this traffic? So yeah, this is really where email shines. It's not just a broadcast tool, it's the conversion engine that turns anonymous clicks into pipeline ready leads. So we're going to break this down into three levers. So there's automation, personalization, and deliverability. So why email is the conversion engine. And we kind of preach this a lot in our content. It is an owned channel. So to kind of tie in on that idea that Ludmilla discussed, first party data, this is kind of how email helps with that. So what I loved about the talking points that you mentioned regarding content is that they're very the traditional rules of content marketing still apply when you're thinking of ranking in search results. You still have to have high quality content. You still, if you can have that first party data that substantiates your claims and showcases you as an expert, that is going to make your content even more reliable, and it's going to make your brand more reliable. But how do you access that data? So email is a great tool for that, because you have this owned channel that you're not at the mercy of algorithms. So you don't have to kind of worry about constant changes in order to access this audience. You have their email addresses. So that is literally giving you a direct line to them. So you can ask them questions, you can survey them, you can gain data on these people, you can use your CRM to, really understand who they are and what they need. And you can use that to put together some first party data and use that in your content, which helps you rank in search results. But, email is the key there. And, it also helps you scale personalization better than most channels out there. It's, you can send 1 million emails, but each recipient needs to feel like that email was written just for them. And, email lets you do that. And also the ROI is still unmatched. When done right, email is the most effective way to drive measurable conversions. The actual price point changes every now and then, but you'll see online it they say $36 to $40 for every dollar spent on email is what you gain in ROI, and that's insane. I mean, that is an incredible return. So email is kind of a sure thing. Okay, so automation. I feel like I talk about automation in online webinars, but that's just because it really is a marketer's best friend. It's, the motto of working smarter, not harder. It's not about adding complexity. It's about making sure no opportunity slips through the cracks. And that's really hard to do in marketing because you are so busy doing 1 million things. So automation kind of is your, it's almost like your assistant that never sleeps. A welcome journey can turn a new sign up into a loyal subscriber. I don't know how many times you've signed up for a new brand's email marketing and received a, welcome email with a promo code. That's what a welcome journey is. It's sort of like your first, well, it's like your second impression, but it's a very important one because it sets the tone for the relationship. And then, nurture flows, they can help keep leads warm until they're ready. Nurture flows are, sporadic emails throughout your relationship with a brand that sort of keep you engaged without hounding you. And, it wouldn't hurt if they provide educational content to help you kind of better understand that brand, better understand what they offer. If they have services, what do they entail? It's all about making you an informed consumer so that you can get closer to making a purchase and feeling good about that purchase. And then there's also behavior-based triggers. So like a click on a product link or an abandoned cart, it's about noticing those triggers and then acting on them to turn them into conversions. So I'm sure every single person on this webinar has received an abandoned cart email. And that's when you've put something in your cart and then you're like, oh, I'll do that later. And then you exit out. Next thing you know, you're getting an email that says, don't forget about what's in your cart. That's a behavior trigger. So that brand noticed that you put something in your cart and that you abandon it. And so in case you forgot, they just want to send you a reminder. It's those little things that can increase your conversions. Okay, so personalization and email marketing go hand in hand. But personalization is sort of an evolving thing. It, once was just addressing somebody by their first name. Now we have to try harder than that. So, it's more than just using someone's first name in an email. It's about relevance. It's important to segment your audience based on how they interact with you. So what they read, what they click, where they are in the buying journey. You can also use dynamic content to make emails feel like they were built specifically for the person that's receiving it. So dynamic content is content that changes based on that person's preferences. So it's really a game changer for personalization. And then, AI can help you scale that, suggesting subject lines, adjusting tone, and even generating variations. So AI is doing so much. And I apologize, guys, if I cut out every now and then. I'm getting an alert that my internet connection is a bit unstable, so bear with me. But it does more than just help you generate content. It can help you with your emails too. I know it's really hard to generate fresh, engaging email content, but AI can help you with subject lines. It can help you change your copy. It can help you refine your copy so that it's more personalized to the person you're talking to. Okay, and I want to talk about deliverability because it's often kind of like out of mind concept, but it really is the unsung hero. Because when you think about it, if your emails never make it to the inbox, then what was it all for? So, you know, even the best crafted email won't convert if somebody never sees it. So it's really very important. Um, and the way to ensure your deliverability is sound is kind of these three main points here. So it's important to keep your list clean. That means removing inactive contacts so your sender reputation stays strong. You may think, oh no, I don't want to remove anybody because then I won't be able to email them. The reality is, if these people aren't engaging with your emails, it's kind of like a point against you. I'm not saying delete them from your list, but maybe segment them into a inactive list, and then later on you can try an engagement, a re-engagement campaign to sort of spike their interest again, maybe with like a promotion. But it is important to remove these people from regular sends because they they aren't, whatever it is, they're not engaging. So they could really count against you and your sender reputation, and they could even potentially mark you as spam because they aren't seeing your emails as relevant, and that's not something that you want. And then another big one is authenticating your sender domain. So doing so tells inbox providers that you're legit. So it's important to kind of look into SPF, DKIM, DMARC. Doing so, making sure those are squared away will make sure that you gain trust with inboxes. And then, a very big one is engagement. So that kind of ties in with that first point. If your emails are being engaged with, it's going to drive positive signals for inbox placement. So the more your subscribers open and click, the more future emails will land where they should, which is front and center. So these kind of ideas of SPF, DKIM, DMARC, I know they're very like abstract. We have blog posts that dive into what these mean. We even have other deliverability guides. Deliverability is a big concept that is very kind of hard for a lot of people to understand. The benefit, though, however, is if you use an email marketing software like Benchmark Email, we have the tools in place to help you do these things. We already kind of part of the process of signing up with Benchmark Email is that we help you authenticate your domain so that is already squared away. So that kind of concept, which you're probably thinking, where do I even start? We help you with that. And then, we also have the tools to help you make your emails more engaging and to help you kind of segment your list so that you can remove and clean that list and make sure that you're really targeting those most engaged subscribers. Okay, so when traffic arrives from AI search or other sources, email is where that attention gets nurtured, personalized, and converted. So automation sort of ensures consistent follow-up because it's a set it and forget it kind of situation. So instead of kind of making sure you're the one writing each individual email and sending it out in real time, with automation, you can set it up on the front end, schedule it out to go out, and then go back to the next thing you were doing. Personalization makes messages resonate, obviously, and deliverability ensures your hard work actually pays off. Together, these tactics transform from visibility into real revenue. So we've sort of done a little timeline here. The AI visibility leads to traffic. The traffic then should be filtered into email marketing. So the way that that connects is make sure your website has forms that people can sign up for email marketing. And once you get those signups, filter them into a list, send them a welcome email, figure out where, use a CRM to learn more about them, and then figure out where they are in their journey to send them nurtured campaigns. Send them abandoned carts when they abandon their cart. And those kind of tactics are what are going to lead to conversions. That's what's going to make people click on your links in your email, obviously by using certain tactics like personalization. And then once they do so, making purchases, which will lead to revenue. Okay, so yes, lot we covered here, but I want to kind of focus on some quick wins to take away. So um, here are some practical steps. So number one, don't try to automate everything at once. It's really going to be overwhelming. I suggest focusing on, with a welcome or re-engagement flow. So as I stated, get something going to where once people sign up for your email, maybe that day or the next day you send them a welcome email. Make sure it's timely so that they don't forget, oh yeah, I signed up for this. And then, a re-engagement campaign is great too. So like I, mentioned earlier, filtering those maybe disengaged emails into one list and then sending them something, a promotional, something that kind of gets their attention again and makes them remember why they signed up for your emails in the first place. And then two, test a behavioral segment on your next campaign, like clicking on a product category or maybe a download of some kind. A CRM will help you tap into something like this. And you can kind of see, oh, okay, this person made this action on my website. So anytime someone makes that same action, maybe we can trigger an email to go out that day that does this, that ties into that behavior of some kind. And then number three, check your deliverability setup. So look into SBF, DKIM, and DMARC and make sure you're inbox ready. So audit your deliverability setup this quarter so you can ensure that your emails are making it to the inbox. And again, if you really want to make this easy, use an email marketing software like Benchmark Email. Okay, I'm going to let Ludmila take over from here and kind of run through this slide.
Yeah, and from everything that we've discussed together, Natalie, I think the biggest takeaway for everybody here is to take action. So I encourage everybody, not to just like we've just been through 45 minutes of great content. Hopefully you think the same. And to make it practical, to make it hands-on, I encourage you to run your first AI visibility audit today. This week, you can send just one email. You can just run just one free audit and take those little steps that will build out to this quarter and then to longer term. And a lot of great starting points here. I think on the previous slide with just like one automation flow, one audit, one step at a time. I encourage you to start building out the new infrastructures, the new systems into your business. And if we go to the next slide, that's basically the roadmap that we both of us encourage you to take. LLMs plus email, this is new lead gen machine, from visibility to setting up the automations to welcoming and accommodating this traffic, taking using benchmark email software to take off the manual workload out of your plate, using Vertology to understand where you stand in the AI search. Use your tools. Build out the new infrastructure. Don't get stuck in just manual work. Those visibility gaps, they can be your lost pipeline, but with the right, it's definitely the time for all of us to get ahead of AI search and then double down on email.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So I just checked. We don't have any questions, but I do feel like oftentimes, especially with more like complex ideas, which I do feel like we're kind of covering on this webinar, these questions come later. So I just want to remind everyone, if you don't have any questions now, but you do later, or you're just not sure how to ask these questions and you want to maybe follow up with us directly, we will both be emailing you with follow-up resources. So you will have that opportunity to kind of ask us one-on-one certain specific things you might want to know more about. We just want to make sure that everyone kind of understands these concepts and knows how to move forward. And a big part of that is, using the resources we've shared today. So I want to go over our benchmark email resource. There is an option to sign up free. So yeah, we have a free plan to use our email marketing software without you don't even need a credit card to register or anything like that. So you can kind of get these great tools and tap into how to convert your site traffic into some revenue and do it totally free. And then I'm going to let you want to talk about your resources as well.
Mhm. Absolutely. So I have two resources for you. Both of them are free. So on Vertology.ai, everyone can get the memory-based audit for free. And if you are curious about how your brand looks like in the live AI search, please use the convert promo code for the live report. It will give you a very friendly discount on that report, and happy to share it with you. Or you can always book your AI search clarity call with me and my team. I'm super approachable. I take some time to block off my calendar for you guys to be able to get in touch with me directly, put me on your case and my team. And we are super happy to walk you through what we see on our end in terms of your AI visibility. You'll get a link to this page in the presentation and in the resources. But if anything, you can always email me or reach out to me directly if you have any questions or concerns about your AI search. Happy to help.
Great. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking the time. Umila, thank you so much for partnering. You've taught me a lot. I have my notes written down. And honestly, it was reassuring too, because some of the things you shared, I was like, we're doing this, we're doing that. Like it's very nice to kind of hear about how these different strategies work. And, I'm excited to kind of take some of the stuff that you discussed and put it to use. So thanks everyone. And we hope to see you on the next webinar and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so
Bye.
much.